Okay, all right, I'm going to record. Ready?
Go.
3, 2. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Football Fellas. My name's George, and with me today I've got Jack. Jack, say hello.
Yo, you alright, guys? How you doing?
So today, basically, what we're going to be doing is our first episode of this like podcast, YouTube kind of thing. So if you are watching on YouTube, first of all, you get to see the formation that we're playing. You get to see the players we put in. As you can see on the screen now, it's going to show you the player's face and everything and their name below. If you are listening, don't worry. We're going to explain it all to you anyway, so you're not going to miss anything. But yeah, Jack. So today is your week to choose the topic. So
Yeah.
what we're going to be picking is a certain topic. So best England team ever, best German team ever, best West Ham team, or anything. But before we get into that, Jack, do you want to tell us about your football history? Who do you support? Those kind of things.
Yeah, man, that's cool. So I am a born and bred West Ham fan. Um,
Unfortunately.
my yeah, unfortunately, even I think it's unfortunate. Um, so my grandparents lived in the East End. I grew up around the corner from the stadium. Um, I've followed them through thick and thin, as you do. You know all about that being a Wickham fan. But
Yeah.
um, I've done that. I've had playing experience at semi-professional level. I've played and had trials at academy level. I coach, so I've had sort of a full array of football experiences under my belt, which is good. It's interesting, and it's something
Mm.
that is just an absolute passion.
Yeah, a fun fact actually. Jack was the head coach at our university's team. I actually worked with him for a little bit, for a year, maybe. Was it a year?
Yeah,
Yeah, a year. So that was a very fun experience. But yeah, as Jack said, I'm a Wickham fan. So many people know Wickham for being, that's a nice squeaky door. People for Akin Fenwa, the biggest player, the strongest player, if you want to call him that. Um, yeah, like Jack said, I go through, you know, the max we've been through is League One. I think this is the highest we've been. It's the first time we've ever been first in League One. When we were first, we're now like eighth or something. So if the season gets thrown away, that's our best season down the pan, kind of like a Liverpool. But yeah, so like we were saying, Jack's going to pick the topic today. He's going to pick the topic, then he's going to spin a wheel, which unfortunately we haven't got on the computer right now, on the screen if you are watching it on YouTube, and then we're going to go from there. So Jack, first of all, what's the topic?
so I thought, why don't we discuss the topic that most people are talking about? Manchester United, triple winning side against this Liverpool side now. Who would you pick out of both squads to be in your ultimate 11?
Oh, so you're talking the Manchester United triple squad, the triple winning
Yeah,
squad, and today's Liverpool squad: Salah, Firmino, etc.
exactly that. Exactly that. So you're thinking United with Bex, Giggs, Scholesy,
Oh wow.
Teddy Sheringham, Dwight York, Andy Cole, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like all the big names that were in that squad. Um, who would you pick out of them and your modern day Van Dykes, Robertson,
Oh.
and Alexander Arnold?
I mean, if you're going to do the first episode, you've got to do it right. So, Jack, if
Exactly that.
if you want to spin the wheel for us now to decide our formation, I'll change it on the screen, and then we kick it off with the goalkeeper.
Cool. I'll go now. So let's have a look.
I'm
I've
hoping
just
for
done an
like,
array. I'm
yeah,
hoping it's going to be an attacking one.
it's like your 4-3-3s, your 3-5-2s, 4-4-2, those kind of formations there. It's not going to be anything fancy, but we do have
It's
some kind of variation. Sorry, Jack, what were we saying?
it's all right. It's done a. It didn't work the first time, so I'm just trying it again. It's me being an idiot. So we've got a 4-1-2-1-2.
A 4-1-2-1-2. I actually really like this formation. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've actually got two variations of this one. We can have a 4-2-1, a 4-1-2-1-2 with a left mid, right mid, or we can have it with two centre mids, an attacking mid, and a DM.
Let's go with the most attacking option possible.
Okay, so you
Because then
want
we
to.
can get some of the best players in.
Oh, okay. So you're talking some CMs in there as well. So we got the CAM and the CDM already in the squad. So you're talking two centre mids as well. Because I think
No,
of
I
the
think
people. Oh, you want to go
I
left mid,
think
right
you're
mid?
right. You've got to, haven't you? You've got to go diamond with that shape.
Oh, I mean,
And I
I mean,
think
I- I'm already getting. Oh no, he's not triple winning squad. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you're going to hear me typing away, but I'm going to load up both the squads now. So Liverpool 1920 squad. I don't know if you're doing the same there, Jack.
Yeah, I've got the United squad up for 98, 99.
Yeah, so United squad 98, 99. Okay.
And
98,
it's just
99.
filled with absolute superstars.
Oh my god. Okay, so just for kind of a scope at the moment, what we're going to go against. So Manchester United side, you got Peter Schmeichel in goal. You got who else? You got Wes Brown when he was at United. Oh my god, do you remember that?
When he started, yeah. Well, Wes Brown was there for years. Like he was,
Yeah. There's
he was. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that he came through the academy. So he was a homegrown talent, played really well. He was very, very young though at that
mm.
point. He only came into the United squad in '97.
But I mean those kind of names you completely. I just remember him being at Sunderland. Really, like
Yeah,
that's where I remember him being. You just don't think about this. Who else we
and
got?
a lot of people think of him as the has been, like the one that didn't. He wasn't really anything.
Yeah.
Whereas he was actually a brilliant player.
I mean, even at
But
Sunderland, he was really good. But you're right in what you're saying. At United, in this 98-99 squad, he was 18 at the time.
yeah, he was the sort of forgotten man.
Wow. Okay, so who else we got? The Neville brothers.
You
We've
got
got,
Dennis Irwin. Dennis
yeah,
Irwin was an absolute superstar.
Roy Keane,
Um,
Nicky Butt, Paul
Yap Stan.
Scholes. Yeah, Yapstan. Yeah, Beckham. Everyone knows Beckham. Ryan Giggs. Who else? I saw Geordie Cruyff. I thought, oh my god, Johan Cruyff. Like, I don't know why, but I just, yeah. You got Solskjaer there. Who else? We've got Andy Cole,
Hmm.
Sheringham. Wow, Dwight York.
Yeah,
Yes. I mean,
honestly,
that's a, that's a really good squad. And I mean, then you put it against Liverpool. Um,
yeah. But see, this is the debate, and it's people are saying that this Liverpool squad is better than the triple winning squad in '99. And
mm,
I mean, statistically, it, they're close, but statistically, the Manchester triple winning squad is better.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. And I mean, on the Liverpool side, I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably know the Liverpool squad or whatever already. But you got Allison, obviously amazing keeper. Your man Adrian Jack,
Yeah,
who messed up their Champions League hopes. But we'll get into that later. Who else got? Van Dijk, Lovren, who claims he's the best centre back in the world. Um, Gomez, even he's like Trent. um, Oh, I don't know if I put a Neville brother over Trent or I don't know. Okay, I'm getting stressed out and we haven't even started.
it is so hard.
It really
Um,
is.
just as a guide, I mean, this was the reason I picked it was I saw this discussed on Sky Sports recently,
Mm,
and I didn't agree with their squad whatsoever. They went with a flat 4-4-2.
yeah.
Um, majority of it, the back four, 3 out of 4 was Liverpool current,
Hmm.
um, and then both forwards were Liverpool. None of the United strikers got in there.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I,
so it's
I mean,
it's
again, I don't know
interesting.
if I agree with. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm getting stressed out, and we're like 10 minutes in. So,
Exactly.
let's start with the goalkeeper. Personally, in this position, I think there's only one man, and that's got to be Schmeichel.
Yeah,
I
has to
re- I
be.
really
I'm
so
so glad you said that. I thought you
okay.
was going to say Allison.
No, 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 no. So as long as we're okay with Schmeichel, I can't even spell his name. Oh wait, yes I can. Schmeichel. There we are. I'm just going to put him in there. There we go. You can see his lovely face there. Okay, let's
Yeah,
go to. Yeah, no, actually, Jack, you choose the next position. Where do you want to debate?
I think, to be honest, it's centre half. There's so many good centre halves in both squads.
Yeah.
It's the massive debate of, are you going to have Van Dijk or are you not? I mean, for me, you've got Yapstam and Dennis Irwin, who were phenomenal. Um, you know, you've got Gary Neville at right back, but it for me, if it was me personally, and I was looking at both centre halves,
Yeah.
I'd be having Yapstam and Virgil van Dijk
Do you know
because
what?
you've just got the absolute enforcer of Yapstam who
Hmm.
would just want to win everything and go through people, but was actually technically quite gifted. then you've got Virgil van Dijk, who is just, for me, the all-round sort of complete centre half in the modern game.
Absolutely. Do you know what? Again, we've gone 3 for 3 on this. I completely agree with decisions. Yapstam, just, absolute unit. Will just slide through, doesn't care, take the ball, see you later. Take you out as well.
Yeah,
Virgil van Dijk, remember, he was up for a Ballon d'Or. You know,
yeah.
there's absolute legends as centre back that have won that. You know, Cannavaro, for example. You know,
Oh yeah,
you don't get as a centre back. It's hard enough to get there to become. Was he third place? He was third place, wasn't he? But behind
yes,
Ronaldo and
yeah.
Messi, obviously.
Actually, no, I think he finished. Didn't he?
Did he come? Did he come ahead? Let's have a look. Ballon d'Or.
I actually can't remember this year.
Ballon d'Or. 2020, is it? I don't know.
No,
No,
2019.
2019. Yeah. Let's see. So it was obviously won by Messi. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Virgil van Dijk came second.
Yeah, I
That
thought we
fights
had.
the case more. You know,
Yeah,
to become behind Messi and ahead of Ronaldo, that is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to agree with that. So Van Dijk, I think it's like this. Let's see, there he is, and I'm hoping we can get Stapp on here.
Stam it was.
Stam even. Sorry. Where are we?
I mean,
Stam. I'll put double A.
it's so interesting to look at the United starting lineup from that final.
Yeah.
You know, it was such an odd team that he picked.
Mm.
Because obviously he actually started Yap Stam, which we obviously are saying Van Dijk for me is phenomenal, but the option is who you're going to have then outside them.
Absolutely. Okay, so on this actual thing, we need to change it. It doesn't actually come up with Stam. Believe it or not, it won't let you select him. So we've got this guy, our man, Stambouli, who is going to stand in for Stam.
Might
He's
as
going to be
well
there.
go with it.
He is there. That is Stam. Ignore him. If you're skipping ahead of the video and you're going to be thinking, oh, why is that guy in? Come back and you know why. Okay, let's go for. Do you know what? I'm going to go for left back next. Let's go left
Okay, left
back.
back.
So
Okay.
Dennis Irwin or Robertson
See,
as the main options.
this is for me. This is the hardest one.
Right. Okay.
You know, if you look at Dennis Irwin was at Manchester United for 12 years.
Mm.
You know, he played his best football at United. If you look at what was his Champions League, he made 62 appearances in the Champions League, got 4 goals, started 60 times and was only substitute a couple of times.
Mm.
He's played like in some of the biggest tournaments. He played over 400, or he played 400 Premier League appearances. The guy was phenomenal. But
Mm.
is he better than Robertson?
This is what I mean. This is, do you know what? Left back is a difficult position. I mean, first of all, some people are going to look at Dennis's age in that squad. He's 32 at the time, but it was a different kind of football back then. 32 was like prime age, where like 24, 25 is now-ish, 26.
Yeah.
32 was prime. And like you're saying, he only got subbed a couple of times. Biggest competitions. He deserves to be in there. But personally, I think Robertson is getting to that level and will be the bigger player.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's if you're looking at the 2 Liverpool left backs currently, so they're the 2 that we're going to be discussing. Obviously, on the right side, we're going to be discussing Trent.
Yeah.
But if you're comparing the 2, for me, the better defender is Robertson. So, but he's also got the ability to go forward. Irwin was such a good player technically, but he was such a good defender first and foremost. I think Robertson has the best of both worlds. He's able to go forward. He's able to defend. He's got pace to get back if he doesn't make the right decision. He's got a good recovery. If you're looking at what team can we pick to be the best 11, It's got to be Robertson.
Robertson's got going. I agree. Robertson, if you listen, Andy, find somewhere in your heritage that you got like an English great nan or something. Come play for England. We
He's already
need you.
played for Scotland, didn't
No, that's all right. We'll make a rule. Sack them in. Come,
he?
come play for England. We really, really need you. We've got a big tournament coming up. Okay, let's find him. Where are we? Andrew Robertson. Okay, now we're going to go on to. Well, no, actually, you choose. You choose. It's your choice.
We've got to go standard, and we've got to go right back.
Okay, this is my most difficult position. Neville. Bear in mind, it was either one, Phil or Gary, against Trent. It's a similar situation. I think Trent is not at their level. Do I think he can go further?
Well, actually, it wouldn't have been, would it? Because Phil was a left back.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah,
So
okay, so it'd be
Phil would have
Gary,
gone up.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, Phil, he's done a great job with the England women's squad, but he wasn't the best
He
footballer.
wasn't the best, yeah.
He's got a great footballing mind, I think, sometimes, and people will laugh watching the video, hearing me say that. But when you hear him talk about football and about tactics and formations and shape, if you've watched any videos he's done for the FA, he knows his stuff. Whether he's reading off a script, I don't know, but off face value, he knows his stuff.
Yeah. So you think as a football-minded player, he knows where he wants to be, knows what he's doing, but technically he's not as advanced as, say, like Trent or his brother.
Yeah, and I think, do you know what? If you're looking, then Gary Neville started that final.
Yep.
In '99, and for me, and most people will probably laugh at this because everyone thinks Trent Alexander-Arnold is the best right back in the world, and I think currently there's not many people that are performing well enough at right back to challenge him for that title. I think it's still got to be Gary Neville for me. I wouldn't pick Trent Alexander-Arnold as my right back.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That there's not many people to kind of put him against Trent. So Trent is kind of the only option, and Neville is just such a great. Yeah, no, do you know what? And I mean they beat. I'm right in saying 2-1 Bayern Munich, right?
Do you know what?
I think it was 2-1 Bayern Munich, and that Munich team is going to be like unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their starting lineup, they had Zickler, they had Matthias as their centre half,
Kahn
Oliver
in goal,
Kahn.
yeah.
Yeah, like like Effenberg, he was a centre mid that not many people probably know by name, but phenomenal. Like they had great players in their team, but the reason as well is personally, if it was me looking at that back four and the formation that we're going to play, I'd rather, and you'll know this from when we coached university football, I like with my fullbacks, I prefer to have one that's more defensive than the other.
And then one that pushes on. Yeah, I get that.
Because if you look at Liverpool, the great thing about Liverpool is they have two sitting players in front of their back four most of the time. And it's either Henderson or Fabinho or like Naby Keita, someone like that. They always have one or two. So if both Trent and Robertson bomb on, one of them just sits in, it becomes a back three, and the other person sits in the centre of the park dictating play. Normally Henderson.
No, very true.
So it's if we're gonna play a formation, well, we're not gonna play it. We've have to go with what we've got given. The centre of the park is massively open.
Yeah.
So
I get you.
do
So
we want both our
Gary
fullbacks
Neville.
bombing on?
That's very true.
Neville.
But
And
then,
he was an attacking fullback back in the day. It's just that as he got older, his legs stopped working.
But you say that, and I completely agree with you. But Robertson and Trent work extremely well in that Liverpool squad.
They do. I think they work well though, because a lot of teams don't press them from the front. And it's like if you a couple of times I've watched Liverpool, and obviously they've been so successful this season, but if you watch the two Atletico Madrid games, they didn't get pushed from the front But what happened was when they won the ball, their transition was so quick. It was almost like Liverpool get comfortable being able to sit in a team's half and dictate the game.
Mm,
That sometimes both fullbacks just switch off a little bit, and then that's when the problems start.
mm.
But on the same time, I think I can't remember who they played. It was in the Premier League, and this team were just at them from the front all the time, pressing them.
Was it Wolves?
It might have been. It wasn't a big side. It was one. Well, I say big side. Wolves are doing really well,
Coming from a
but as
West Ham
in,
fan, remember?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I'm staying
Well,
out of it. I'm not saying
I'm
anything.
I'm hoping the season's null and void. Believe me. But it's one of them things. I think they're a phenomenal side, and they will go
Mm,
down as one of the best sides to probably, if they decide not to carry on with the Premier League, they'll become one of the best sides to not win the Premier League.
yeah,
They'll
like
be the 1970 Brazil that never won a World Cup.
mm,
It would be a shame.
it is a shame. As much as it pains me to say it, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm obviously not a Premier League, in there and feeling it properly, but I don't think anybody wants Liverpool to win it. And for them to lose it though is so gutting for the players, for Jurgen, for the fans, everyone.
I think it's more they'd rather lose it because they've not
Yeah, not perform rather
deserved
than
it.
being taken away. I get you. I
Yeah,
I well, they're not gonna. I don't think it's got to the point now with the isolation and everything that they're not going to be given it. They're not going to be given the league without kind of like
well, they were
provisional
saying it, weren't they?
champions or something.
Yeah, they were saying it, weren't they? Because Club Brugge have just been
Yeah, they've been
crowned
given
champions today.
Champions League spot, and no teams were relegated, but two were promoted, which doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. But
Well, this
who
it's
knows?
because they're saying you can't be relegated because you haven't mathematically been relegated. Club Brugge had mathematically, I haven't read it properly, but I'm assuming they've mathematically won the
But
league, so
Liverpool
therefore
Liverpool
they're
didn't know,
avoided it.
did they? There was a
No, they
chance
haven't
that they
yet.
could lose it.
Yeah, they've got to win, I think, one or two more games.
Wow. Okay, so they could
Um,
they could take it away.
yeah, so they could easily take it away. But if they decide to null and void the season, the same thing will happen in England. They'll have two sides come up. So the current two that are top,
Mm.
which I think is West Brom and Leeds, but I
Let's
might be
have a
wrong.
look.
Um,
Championship.
they'll both come up. So
Let's just see.
it's such a odd situation that we've not
But I
ever
mean
witnessed.
that'll like flicker through the leagues. Like each league will then have to promote two teams. You're right, by the way. West Brom and Leeds would go up. I mean, Leeds deserve it. Um,
Oh, massively!
okay, then. So are we at agreement? Is Neville going in?
It's got to be Neville. It's got to be. I think the
Right.
guy was an outstanding professional throughout his career.
And again, it doesn't let me select Gary Neville. We need to get a new thing. This is the first episode, remember? So just leave it. But we
Yeah,
got our man Scott Neville in, plays for Brisbane Roar. Okay, but he's got the
close
same.
enough.
He's got the same surname. He looks a bit like him. If he was like, if
It's probably
Gary,
a cousin.
yeah, if Gary Neville was born in the 21st century, got a short back and sides, he'd be all right. It'd be like him. Okay, so moving up the positions here, CDM, defensive mid. Uh, this is a difficult one because in my mind, Roy Keane is the only kind of DM that they've got out and out DM. But then with Liverpool, you've got Naby Keita, you've got Fabinho and Wijnaldum that I think could out and out play there. Maybe Milner every now and then, maybe Henderson, but Keita, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum definitely.
Do you know who started in centre mid for United in the '99 final?
Um, I don't know. Didn't King get left out?
Yeah, so it was actually Nicky Butt and David Beckham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they ended up playing Ryan Giggs down the right hand side.
Oh yeah, I've just loaded up the squad now. Yeah, you're
For
right.
some strange reason, I remember I watched a documentary on it, and he Sir Alex Ferguson he knew that they would expect Beckham to be on the right, and
Oh, it's like spanner in the works kind of thing.
Yeah, and he didn't announce it till late, and the squad knew, Beckham knew, 30 minutes before kickoff, an hour before kickoff, something like that. But they didn't actually announce it until last minute, and it threw everyone completely. And it kind of, well, it obviously worked, but it didn't at the same time. Beckham was a bit out of place, was getting drawn out wide because naturally he would, and it just kind of didn't work.
I mean,
But
bearing in mind, by the way, with this kind of midfield there, Bayern Munich on here, I've got the match report. They scored 6 minutes in, and United only just clawed their way back with 2 goals with both their subs.
yeah,
So people got pulled out for them to score. It's not all down to the midfield, but there's kind of got to be some onus on them.
100%. I mean, for me, you've got to include Nicky Butt in there. As a he didn't really play defensive mid. They didn't really have that. It wasn't until sort of Makaleli come along and created that role with Chelsea.
Yeah, he's still like a defensive-minded midfielder rather than an out-and-out. Yeah, I get you. But then,
and I think Roy Keane, how you did, a lot of people look at him as a enforcer and a defensive midfielder. He only really became that later in his career when he stopped becoming as mobile. Whereas when he was young and the 99 triple winning side, he was actually more of a, what we now call an attacking midfielder, a central attacking midfielder. And he was actually really good at it. He used to get assists, used to get nick a goal here and there.
Oh, he was very, very good.
For me, it'd have to be one of the Liverpool lads, because if we're looking at solely a defensive midfield role, that anchor in the midfield, that diamond, it's got to be someone that's defensively set.
See, I thought I was going to throw a spanner in the works and say I think a Liverpool lad should get it, but obviously we're on the same wavelength, so that's all right. But now comes in Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and Keita. Do we count Milner? Do we count Henderson?
I think you can count both of them, but for me, there's a clear winner. But I'd rather hear your opinion first, and then I'll give you mine.
So, mine's mixed between two.
Cool.
No, actually, I've got my top 3, but I don't know who I would put in. I mean,
you'll soon realise George is the most indecisive person.
I really am.
He'll get a top 3, and then it'll be a top 6.
Yeah, exactly.
All of them.
They just keep going. Oh yeah. I think we should put Salah as DM. No. My favourite out of them is Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
But I think as like that kind of anchor, out and out strength, is probably Naby Keita. But he's only made 9 appearances.
See, it's not. Neither of them would be my first choice.
Fabinho's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, 1000%. The guy, he's been, in my opinion, Jordan Henderson's the most vital person in Liverpool's midfield.
Absolutely, behind closed doors.
People hate on him, but
people think he's underrated. But what he does behind the scenes is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he's. You noticed it when he was injured. Liverpool were missing that player in midfield to dictate, control, run it, and just make the midfield tick. But the person that allows him to do that is Fabinho.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree.
When you have Fabinho and Henderson in that team as your midfield 2,
it's like a brick wall, isn't it?
It's unplayable, yeah.
It's like a brick wall. I mean, Wijnaldum I really rate, but I think maybe he's more box to box than Fabinho. That's why I rate him higher. Yeah, let's go with Fabinho. I'll take that. You made some good arguments there. You've convinced me. Why is Fabinho? Fabinho, there we go. Okay. Do you want to go left mid or right mid?
I think we all know that if I go right mid, I'm only going to say one person. So let's go left mid first.
Okay, let's go left mid. So on the United side of things, you got, I mean, You could put Giggs, you could put Beckham there. You know, they can play either side. They really can. Just trying to have a look through the squad as well. Yeah, out of my options for left and right, it'd be Beckham or Giggs. Even though you could put Beckham down the middle or Giggs down the middle, to be fair.
Do you know who we didn't even talk about? And I meant to talk about him, but
Go on.
I wouldn't have played him there at that point in his career. Is Paul Scholes?
Okay. Oh.
Just a not at left mid, but just as a add on to what we were talking about at centre mid.
Yeah.
For me, Paul Scholes is the
ultimate midfielder. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the perfect centre mid. If I was coaching a kid nowadays, I'd tell him to go and watch videos of Paul Scholes, and not necessarily watch what he does with the ball, but watch United highlights and see what his movement is, what his positioning. His reading of the game is second to none. There's the famous story that Milan give United a blank check and said, right, write whatever number you want on it and we'll pay it.
Okay, what number do you reckon he put on there?
They didn't. They literally had said to them, he's not for sale.
Wow.
And Paul Scholes, they asked him, would you be interested? He said, I'm flattered, but I don't want to play. I don't want to play abroad. And this was at the point when Milan, still had like Maldini, like Ambrosini, like all the big names. And he was just like, no, I'm staying. And there was a point where he refused to play. Ferguson didn't. He left him out of like 2 squads on the bounce because he rested him and then didn't play him in an FA Cup match against Arsenal because he played like reserve players. And then Ferguson went, I want to put you on, and he refused to play. And it was at that point they was like, he said, I could have so easily have been pushed out of the club because of the way Ferguson was, but thankfully he liked me. And I honestly believe if he hadn't have stayed at United, I don't think he'd have been the player he was.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So if you had to put a nowadays value, you're talking hundreds of millions now on, in contract, Paul Scholes, 98, 99, what would you value him at? Bearing in mind that Neymar went for 200 million or whatever crazy figure it was.
He's insane, but he's not worth 200 million. I'm not about Neymar there, not Scholes.
Yeah, definitely. Neymar, that was out of proportion. It really is. It's PSG money.
Yeah, it's silly money. I think for me, realistically, if you're looking at like a Paul Pogba, a £90 million centre mid. If you said to me, you've got £90 million, you can have an in prime Paul Pogba or an in prime Paul Scholes. I'd pick an in prime Paul Scholes.
Oh, I think everyone would. If anybody picked an in prime Pogba over Paul Scholes, in prime Paul Scholes, they need to be shipped off somewhere seriously, because that's. I mean, it's easy to say with how Pogba's done. He's not been the best of players, and he's not lived up to some people's expectations. But despite it, even on his best game, Paul Scholes beats him, even if he's only played 10 minutes on the pitch. That's my opinion. I think.
Without that, I'd still stick with Fabinho in this formation, but I just thought we can't skim over talking about Nicky Butt, right? Roy Keane and everyone else, and not talk about.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. He's an honourable mention. That's what we'll call him. And I didn't think I would ever say that Paul Scholes is just an honourable mention, but there we go. Okay, so yeah, let's go left mid. So that's where we were. I mean, I would play Sadio Mane there.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? It was 4-1-2-1-2, wasn't it?
4-1-2-1-2, left mid, right mid, CAM.
It's so difficult.
But this is where we could potentially lose out on a Giggs or a Beckham. One of the two from this position.
I mean, if it was a front three, I'd 100% say Mane out wide left.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, but because he's like a left-sided midfielder rather than like a
yeah,
winger.
and you know what? Mane has such a work rate.
Yeah.
Like, I love him. He's probably one of my favourite players in the Premier League at the minute.
Him and Kante are my favourite players just down to their work ethic and how they are outside. They get on with it. What they do on the pitch is they do on the pitch. They go home, they live their life. You never ever hear anything bad about those two, ever.
Yeah, and if you ever do, it's the most humbling things. Like, like Mane, for instance. I think he donates. He's opened like so many schools back in,
Yeah, hospitals, schools, and a lot. He
all
put.
around Africa and in his hometown.
Mm,
And every time you hear a story about them, it's a bit like Paul Scholes. You've never heard about Paul Scholes in the media.
no, exactly.
And it's just they're gentlemen of the game. They just play.
It's
They play for the love
literally
of the
head
game.
down.
They get
Yeah.
paid tons for it, but they don't play for the money. They play for
No,
just pure enjoyment.
absolutely. I mean, going off on a tangent again, but have you seen the story about Kante turning up to training? Let me see if I can find it. He came up in it was like a banged up Fiat 500 or something. Well, I say banged up. It was a nice Fiat 500, and all these players behind him are turning up in your Porsches, your Jaguars, your Lamborghinis. He turned up in a Mini. That's it. He turned
Yeah,
up in
it was a
just
minute.
a
Yeah,
normal Mini, and they asked him why. You got all this money. Why aren't you spending it on a nice car? He goes, look, my car works. Why do I need a new one? It's that kind of thing. It's a small thing like that, but it's those kind of things that him and Mane, they're just my favourite players.
well, there was a story came out, resurfaced recently
Mm.
of Kante again, and it was when he first signed for Leicester. He didn't think he needed a car. He thought he could just run to training every day.
Oh yeah. He said he was going to run, and didn't he? Have you seen a
And
picture of
Jamie
him
Vardy's
cycling?
like
Yeah, what are you doing?
cycling,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and he was like, "What are you doing?" But do you know what? Fair play to him, and he's another one that's just such a nice guy.
absolutely. And if he was a pick of this squad, he would be in. I'm sorry for being here, but you're out. Kante's in.
Yeah,
Um,
oh, without that.
Okay then. So I still stick with the point of like the work rate and everything. I would put Mane. I really would. Attacking, he will work his backside to get back to do as best as he can. He might lose the challenge or whatever, but he gets himself back. He's
I
technically good
wouldn't.
and pacey.
I wouldn't.
Who would you put?
It would be Ryan Giggs all day long.
See, this is where it gets hard again because he's an absolute legend of the game. He really is.
Yeah, and I think this is why it's such a hard debate. This because you're in another 20 years, this will be an easier debate because we'll have seen what the players will have done
Yeah, it's end of career
throughout
kind
the
of
entirety of
stats.
their
Yeah,
career, and you're comparing them like for like. But
yeah. At
I,
the
I,
moment,
I
yeah.
just don't. In my opinion, I like my wingers to be
You like
proper
old
wingers.
school wingers, don't you? Like kind of down the
Get
down
down
the
the
channels.
get down the channels, knock the ball past someone. Look at Ronaldo. Ronaldo was one of the best at it when he was in the Premier League.
Mm,
That people, said he was a winger and bits like that. He was a wide player. He'd get as wide as he could. He'd knock the ball 20 yards past someone and just beat them for pace.
mm.
That's why I love Mikel Antonio when I watch him play at West Ham. Completely different level, by the way, to what we're talking about.
Yeah,
But
still a
you know,
legend.
yeah, he just runs people. He's not technically gifted. Beckham wasn't the best dribbler in the world, but and there was an article I read this week, and it was who was it talking?
It's probably Roy
It was one
Keane.
of no, it wasn't. It was I can't remember. And they literally said with Bex, it was you could literally defend him all day long, but if you give him half a yard, he'd whip a killer ball in.
Mm.
It's that thing with when you're looking at Giggs, he run people ragged. Look at the goal he scored in the FA Cup that time against Arsenal,
Mm.
and he literally it was like watching You know the Messi goal when he picked up the ball on the halfway line and went past everyone at
Yeah.
I think it was like
Yes, yes,
18,
yes.
19. Like
If he wants to
you
run
you
rings, he
wouldn't
will.
you wouldn't talk about Messi and Giggs in the same breath.
No.
But if you compare them goals, why wouldn't you? You know, it's just, for me, Mane is phenomenal, but I'd be looking at him potentially as a
It's a more
forward.
bombing forward. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
But
you.
as one, you know, like when we get up to the top two, the front two, I'd be then thinking, if I was looking at the three Liverpool strikers, who would I pick as my strikers?
Mm,
He'd probably be one of
one of the
the
top.
ones I'd be
Yeah.
seriously considering.
Absolutely. I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, I agree. You kind of got the debate of old school wide midfielder, new school wide midfielder slash winger. Um, I mean, I'm just looking at Ryan Giggs' stats as well. I never knew he spent his youth career 2 years at Man City. I never knew that, and
Yep.
he played a game for England schoolboys, and then went off to
Yep.
Wales under 18. So you know,
We actually said that he wasn't good enough for
oh,
him.
and that.
Um,
I mean, I know Wales haven't won anything in terms of World Cups, but that's why we've only got one star.
no, like you look at the guy's stats. Like he played over 600 Premier League games.
Yeah,
He had 114 goals in the
114
Premier League.
goals. Yeah, it's
Like for a wide man, that's a lot. I know people will look and go, yeah, but he had like nearly 700 games and he scored over 100 goals. You show me a winger nowadays that's a wide man that is scoring anywhere near, like, 10 goals a season. It
mm.
just doesn't happen.
This is the thing. I was going to say that Mane's got 185 appearances and 80 goals, but you can't really say, well, okay, well, Mane's better statistically because Mane, like you said, does bomb on forward. He does play in an attacking role rather than a wide player. So we can't really compare him against, I guess, goals because goals isn't everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It pains me to say because I really like Mane, but only if you promise if we can look at him at least in one of the attacking positions, we'll
He
put Giggs in.
he's in my thought process for
Okay,
one of the
that's
forward
fine.
positions.
Then fine, we can leave it. Ryan Giggs, you're in. Left mid, brilliant. Let's go for right mid.
Specs.
You want to put Bex?
There's
J- j-
name me a player, past or present, that has a right foot that can deliver a ball like him.
Sadio Mane. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
um,
George is like, Sadio Mane is going to be in
yeah,
every position. It
yeah, yeah,
feels
yeah.
like.
He's my number one. He's my number one. Yeah. I mean, it has to be Beckham. I
I
don't
mean,
think we need to talk about this.
if you look through the Liverpool squad, the only player that even compares to his delivery is Trent.
Yeah, true.
It's the only player. The only other player that you could even potentially play out wide right is Mo Salah,
Mm,
because he plays on the, normally he plays on the right hand side of the front three for Liverpool, and you'll have Firmino through the middle. But for me, again, he's a goal scorer. He's not a wide man.
yeah. Do you know what? We'll go with David Beckham. And the most annoying thing about this as well is that Beckham is not on this squad thing. How ridiculous is
I
that?
think maybe is that squad thing
I think it's linked to
current.
FIFA. I think it's linked to
Yeah, it's got to
FIFA.
be.
And I don't know why Beckham isn't on FIFA as a legend or whatever, but whatever. So I'm going to choose, we are going to go for Beckhamman. He plays for Real Salt Lake. um,
It's close enough.
yeah, nothing like him. What I'm going to do is, if you are watching it on YouTube, we're saying that all these players, I'm going to change it. I'm going to cross their name out and I'm going to put it properly. So, yeah, ignore it. It's fine. Okay, so Beckham, that was the easiest decision I think we made, apart from our centre backs and goalkeeper. So,
Yeah.
okay, this is getting harder now. CAM, centre attacking mid. Where do you go with this? Because uh, Paul Scholes, yes, I think he can fit in there. I think he could qualify for a CAM role.
See, I think there's a player you're forgetting. Not for United at all.
For I think I know who you're going to say.
Go on.
Is it Firmino? Are you going to say
No,
CAM? Okay, hang on. If it's not Firmino, then surely not Oxlade-Chamberlain.
yeah,
Oh my god! Against Paul Scholes.
not against Paul
Okay,
Scholes.
okay. Thank God for that. I thought that's what you meant.
With them.
Do you know what? I rate Oxlade-Chamberlain so high as well.
Yeah, I think Paul Scholes for me. I don't know whether I'd play him there. As much
Yeah.
as I think he's the ultimate midfielder,
Mm.
would I play him in that position?
Or do we if we're thinking about if we were to actually play this team, what about Jordan Henderson? He's not the most, like we're saying, he's not the most gifted going forward, scoring goals and everything, but he's such an important member of that squad. In both teams, you put him in there, he's taking control of that dressing room. He is the main man. He is your captain. You could put him in any squad and he'd do that. He'd change us. He'd change a club. I really think he would change a club.
The only other one that I'm going to suggest, and it is a very, very, very odd suggestion,
Go
but
on.
it's Teddy Sheringham.
Oh, no. Because that's a good shout. I wasn't moaning because that wasn't a good shout. That is a bloody good shout.
The only reason I say it, right, is for me the CAM role is a number 10.
Yeah.
So do you consider maybe looking at that CAM as a 10, and then you have 2 out and out 9?
I mean, also, I just want to put this out there as well. Happy birthday, Teddy Sheringham. It's his birthday today. You won't believe
That's
me,
what I
but
thought I'd give him a little
yeah,
mention
yeah,
as well.
yeah. He's in there. He's a manager at the moment for ATK. What league are they?
Do you know what? Is it Greece?
Indian Super League.
Indian.
Is he doing bits? He's second in the league.
Yeah, I met him previously.
Yes, you did at the
Yeah,
coaches association thing, didn't you?
yeah, and I also met him at a charity game. And honestly, one of the nicest blokes we've ever met, and still probably one of the most gifted players. Even at his age, like he was walking around the pitch and just making people look silly. Like he wasn't even trying. How can you at that age go, yeah, do you know what, I'm gonna rock up? And this charity game, by the way, it was it's a lot of people that are celebs and things like that, but there was people like Jeremy Lynch there, Billy Wingrove, like big good players, and even the celebs that were playing were players that have had playing experience.
They're like semi-pro experience, aren't they?
Yeah, so they're not slack, but everything was at his pace, and
He
I think for
basically
me,
dictates play.
yeah, I think for me, when you go and watch a charity game, if it's like the celeb ones, like for instance Soccer Aid, you watch that and you see the pros, they literally look like they're having a kickabout in their garden, and it's just, you can see the difference in the level there. People watch Premier League football, go, yeah, I could do that, and in reality, they could
They
nowhere
really
near
can't,
do that.
yeah.
A pro slows down and still is better than you.
Yeah.
So imagine what if he was at full pace.
Yeah, if he was, yeah. I've agreed with you on most of these. Do you know what? You make a very good case, but I'm sorry, I'm going to stick with Henderson. I think he's such an important member. I really think Henderson. And if not, I think above him it would be like Salah or Mane. Oh no,
I
not
think then,
Mane, Firmino.
do we, as a tiebreaker, try and give Mr. Stephen Inns a call.
Do you know what? That's a good
Bit like
idea.
phone a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Let me get him on. Let me get him on the phone now, or as you say, Jack, on the blower.
On the blower.
On the blower. Wanna be London boy.
Essex boy born on the edges of East London.
Yeah, he can't decide. He's greedy. That is. Let's see. Will he answer? Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's going to answer. You know.
Surely he can't be asleep already.
Don't worry. I've got a backup call if he doesn't answer. Do you know what? He's not going to answer. I've got a backup. I'm not going to tell you who it is until they answer.
I reckon I know.
I'm not going to tell you until he answers. You probably already know. Come on. If this don't answer, then it's going to be extremely embarrassing. Then we're just going to have to fight out, I think.
I think it'll be more embarrassing because if it's the person I think it's going to be.
I don't think they're going to answer.
Oh, Steve has just messaged me saying I've just woke up.
Hello.
I've had a sleep.
Hi.
Henry, you alright?
Is that Mr. Henry Morgan?
Henry, me and Jack, okay, we're filming our first episode of the podcast, right? And we just need your opinion. We're doing Liverpool nowadays squad versus the Manchester United 98-99 squad, the one that won the Champions League. And we were wondering, at CAM, would you put Teddy Sheringham or would you put Jordan Henderson? Because I think Jordan Henderson, because he's a vital part of the team. And Jack said at CAM, we're talking, you know, not just based on ability, but what they can bring. Because Sheringham, he dictates play, but I think Jordan Henderson is, you know, key.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Sheringham is class,
but
yeah, Henderson is like, he's one of these players where it's like, he's not necessarily like stand out, but he does his job, and that's all you need, don't you? You just want someone to do their job. They turn up every day. That's it. But here's the question: what team would win, Liverpool now or the Man United '99 season team?
See, we're going to answer that at the end. But for now, we're just trying to get a squad. I think Jack wants to say something. Hang on, let Jack say it, and I'll repeat it to you.
I would say though, you've got to remember, we're looking at the player that's going to be potentially slipping balls through for whoever our strikers may be.
Very true.
Right?
Okay, so
who would you want playing them balls through?
Jack says, basically, we got to think about this position is going to be the player that's going to be potentially slipping balls through balls and everything. So over Sheringham and Henderson, who would you play?
Yeah, see, that's the only reason I wouldn't put him as a cam. Henderson.
Who? Hendo.
He's like, he is either a holding centre mid, or really, he could slip into CDM, but really he's a centre mid. He's not an attacker. He's not necessarily a defender either. He's not anything like that. Like, I wouldn't say. So yeah, if you're going just attacking wise for Cam, it's Sheringham every day.
Oh, okay, all right. That's the decision. Henry, thank you so much. We hope someday you'll answer your phone and you'll want to come on this podcast with us because you ignored my messages today. But we'll leave that there. So yeah, you did. So no, that's absolutely fine. Don't try and play the victim. Now you're live.
Is this live?
It's not live, but it will be, and you're going to be a disgrace to the whole nation. All right.
I can edit it if you want.
No, no. Don't try and win me back now. But yeah.
You don't want my editing.
No, yes, we do. But we'll speak about this later. All right. I'll speak to you later on.
Bye.
Bye, Henry.
By the way, for you guys that obviously you won't know George's brother, he's currently studying film and everything at university, and he's sick at editing and things like that. So,
very, very, very talented.
He will pop up probably at some point.
Oh, he will. Of course, he will. This is really annoying me. Okay, so there's no player called Sheringham, so we need we need like a placeholder. Who do we put?
There's got to be a player called like Sherry.
Sherry. Let's have a look. I put SHERR. No one. I don't know this. There's no one there. Is it like Sherwood? No, there isn't. Okay, we just need to think of a player. Ready? Jack, I'm going to ask you in 3 seconds, just say any player. I'll change it in editing. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, right? Okay. So Kevin De Bruyne is actually.
He was blonde. That was the first one I thought of.
Kevin De Bruyne is barely blonde. Okay, right, fine. Let's move on. We're not going to get into this. Okay, we've got 2 striker positions. You said you would consider Sadio Mane, so I want you to consider him.
We will consider him.
But at the same time, I don't know if I would put a Liverpool pairing. Salah and Mane are unbelievable. They are so good.
But when you consider, for me, you've got to look at Andy Cole.
Are you just saying that because you're an Andy Cole fan?
No, I'll tell you why. He in 568 games total, for club games, he scored 244 goals. That's a great return for a striker. In modern day terms, that would be an amazing total.
Also, remember,
189 Premier League goals.
He transferred to Blackburn for 10 million in 95. That's big money.
Yeah. Was it? No,
no, 95. Sorry, no, 01.
2001, wasn't it?
He came to United in 95 and then left at 01-02 season. At 10 million, that's a big. Oh, hello. What was that? Someone just started playing on my screen. But yeah, he gets a C in, definitely, and a serious C in as well. I think, okay, are we going to go 1 United, 1 Liverpool?
To be honest, I'm happy to go to Liverpool as well, but I just think...
I think Andy Cole needs to see in properly. No, you are right.
The White York, phenomenal. But if you're looking at his goals to games, the White York still played 600 games at club level. He only scored 191 goals. So not as many as, Andy Cole. For me, Andy Cole's the better striker out of the White York.
What about Solskjaer? I mean, he was on this, what I'm looking at on transfer market, he's known as the second striker.
Yeah, I mean,
he's still a legend.
In 369 games, he scored 130 goals. But for me, he was most effective, and even for United, right up until he finished his career, he was most effective from the bench.
True. Do you know what?
If you're looking at,
I'm gonna agree with you. I've already put Cole in. But it's not that. It's not Andy Cole. It's Darren Cole, his long lost twin brother, apparently. This thing, I do apologise to everyone. This could be a hell of an editing job. So, Henry, thank you so much for offering your services. You've got a job cut out for you, son, because we need to find a new thing, because this is not good.
Doesn't Andy Cole have a son that plays?
Is his name Darren?
It's Devante.
Devante Cole, is it?
Plays for Doncaster Rovers.
Let's see. Devante? Oh, yeah, like Cole. I've got him from Motherwell on here.
Oh, he might be at Motherwell currently.
I mean, if that's not his son, then I'm really sorry. But his name on here is Cole with a big L at the end. Don't know why, but yep, we're gonna have Cole in there. That's him in his prime. I think it could be him, but let's just have a look. Devante Cole.
He was in Motherwell.
Oh yeah, Motherwell. Yeah, Andy Cole is his dad. Yep. Okay, so that is Andy Cole. That is the embodiment or some kind of connection to Andy Cole. So at least it's better than Beckham and bloody Kevin De Bruyne.
Now,
Salah
or Mane?
No, Salah. I know I said Mane should get a C, but Salah.
It's got to be in it.
It's got to be Salah. And do you know what? We're going to put them in. Mohamed Salah, you're in the squad. So to break down our squad then, just before, I mean, have you got any words to say about Salah, or are we just agreeing that he's...
I just think if he stays at Liverpool and carries on at the rate at which he's scoring,
he will be a legend. I mean, I saw him play. We played Wickham played Chelsea in a testimonial, Matt Bloomfield's testimonial, and Salah was at Chelsea at the time, and he basically was a flop, wasn't he, for Chelsea?
Yeah.
He absolutely ripped us apart. He was so quick, good on the ball and everything. Bearing in mind he was a fringe player at the time, like he's just unbelievable. Then he went to Roma and he did his magic there. He's come to Liverpool and he's not made them the squad they are, but he has really pushed them forward.
I think for me, I watched him when he was at Chelsea as well. When they played West Ham, and I think he come on as a substitute, and he wasn't ready for the Premier League at that point. I think the raw talent was there, and I can't because he came from Basel, weren't it?
Yeah, Basel to Chelsea, Chelsea to Roma, Roma to Liverpool, I think.
And they said at Basel, I remember one of his coaches, it wasn't the head coach, it was the coach, the first team coach at the time. He said Salah turned up and they'd signed him, and after the first 2 days they was like, what have we signed? Like he was dreadful. There was like you'd never seen.
Imagine saying that about, in hindsight, imagine saying that about Salah.
Yeah, and he was like, we was just kind of like, give him benefit of doubt. Don't know much of the language, like, we were trying to help him and blah blah blah. And he said, and then one day, I can't remember if someone had said to him in his ear or if someone had given him a whack, sort of like in a dodgy tackle or something. But it just really ignited a fire in him. And then all of a sudden he was like, that's why we signed him.
It just clicks, yeah.
It just clicks. And I think at Chelsea, he came in at a time where they just buy. They're a machine. And I think what Frank Lampard's doing at Chelsea now is phenomenal. Bringing youth through, he's creating a team again. Which, in fairness, they went out and bought tons of players. Frank Lampard, Joe Cole, Damien Duff, Matthias Kesman. They went out and bought tons of players. But Frank Lampard always says we was a team, like we built a team, and it was an atmosphere. Whereas he said later in his career, it was like you get one superstar in the door, they go out the door.
Yeah.
And you never got to build an environment. And that's, I remember watching him and he said, that's what I want to do when I go to Chelsea and create an environment where by now we've got this amazing youth system. Let's start using it.
Yeah. Well, you look at Gilmore coming through.
Oh yeah, and I think that was the problem with Salah. I think he was
just fringe. He was expected to be something. He didn't do it. He was stuck on the fringe, and there was no way he was getting out.
I mean, he was there for what, 3 seasons, and he had
3 seasons. Was he seriously there for 3 seasons?
Well, I think technically he was there for 4, but I think 3. But I think on one of them he was loaned out because he didn't have appearances or.
No way. Season. Yeah, you're right. 2014 to 16, he was contracted to Chelsea, but he went to Fiorentina and Roma on loan, and then signed for Roma.
So he had 3 appearances in 14-15, all as a substitute. So it was probably all last minute. So he didn't really get a chance to prove himself. And then in his first season, 13-14. He had 10 appearances, 4 as a sub, but he actually nicked 2 goals. So when you consider out of, I don't know whether his 2 goals came, in as a substitute or as a starter, but in 10 games to get 2 goals in your first season, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad.
Season playing. If he'd have had a full season playing,
he could have at least doubled it.
10. Yeah, really got double figures. Whereas you look at his Premier League record now, he's got 113 appearances, 72 goals, and 25 assists.
It's ridiculous. That's crazy stats.
So he's got 97 goal contributions in 113 games.
Oh, wait, have we lost Jack? Jack?
Oh,
no, he's
can
still
you
there.
hear me?
No, hello, you're still there. No, we can hear you.
So it's what like it has to be Salah. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
be.
Statistically, he's brilliant. You see so many stories about like if they don't live up to expectations or they've got this one standout player who's consistently good, not great, good. I've just looked this up. Zinedine Zidane was going to sign to Blackburn, and
Yeah,
Jack Walker, who was the chairman of Blackburn at the time, said, "Why do you want to sign Zidane when we got Tim Sherwood?
yeah.
Why would you want to sign Zinedine Zidane when
I
you got
know.
Tim Sherwood? I mean, Tim Sherwood, don't get me wrong, love you, mate. You're really good, but come on." But it's that kind of thing when you got this, you don't expect, you don't have someone that will beat expectations. You just write them off. Chelsea did that. Look, they've shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they did it with Kevin. They've done it with so many though. They did.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, he's in our squad, believe it or not. Yeah,
They did it with
Paul,
Thorgan Hazard as well though.
yeah,
They had him for a little while, shipped him out, and he's now
He's
phenomenal.
doing really good in the Bundesliga. De Bruyne went off to Wolfsburg, came back doing amazing. Hazard left Chelsea, gone into Bundesliga, doing loads now. There's so many players that Chelsea have ruined. Well, not ruined, but kind of.
I think just give ill credit to not showing
yeah. Trial by fire. They have unfortunately got the bit where they've gone, I don't think I'm ready for the Premier League, but then they kicked him up the backside and they said, no, I'm going to get to the Prem. I know what I need to do now. They've gone out to wherever they've been, Roma, Wolfsburg, wherever they've been, and smashed it, come back and proved the point. So unfortunately, Chelsea, but I don't think it's their fault totally, but they've been on the firing end. But yeah, that's
if you now look at that front three that we've got, you've got two players that have obviously finished their careers, but we're talking about them in their prime. Teddy Sheringham had 673 club games, and he scored 239 goals. You've then got Mo Salah, who has 72 goals in the Premier League, and that's just his Premier League stats.
Isn't it 70 in the 70 in the Prem, 2 in no 72? You're right. I don't know what I'm saying.
And then you've got Andy Cole, who I think was 200 and something again, career goals total in club football.
That front three,
244.
The front three is disgusting. It really is vile. Like, I mean, you get them in their prime. I mean, let's go through the team anyway. So Schmeichel in goal. We instantly decided on Schmeichel. There is no argument there.
No.
Then we got obviously Neville, Gary Neville on the Gary Neville. Am I saying the right Neville? Yeah, Gary Neville on the right. We got our friend Stambouli, who is standing in for Stam for us. Virgil van Dijk next to him, obviously second place in Ballon d'Or. You cannot go wrong with Van Dijk. Robertson, we did agree, didn't we, that he's going to be the better player, and he bombs on. We like that in one of our, well, you like that particularly in one of your wing backs or full backs.
Yep.
Fabinho, this was our first real challenge, wasn't it? Where we had a couple of not so much on the United side, but more the Liverpool side, where we had to really think about it. We had quite a few players there, so we decided Fabinho. I think that's a good shout. On the left, Ryan Giggs. You managed to convince me. I know we said we were going to give Mane the look, you agreed, but that just completely got thrown out the window. So Giggs it was. Our man Beckerman standing in for David Beckham. David Beckham's a household name. He's a legend. That's why we chose him. Kevin De Bruyne. Don't ask why we chose him, but he's standing in for our man Teddy Sheringham. Andy Cole, we got his son up front, but we're going to count him as Andy Cole. Henry, get ready for some heavy editing. And then, as we were saying there, Mo Salah.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay, so now the final question, just before we do end this, the two squads as they were, let's just take the Champions League winning squad. Let's do it with the subs on that they won with. So that was Sheringham and Solskjaer on.
Yeah.
That squad versus Liverpool's last squad that they played. Let's just see. Just trying to see their last squad that they played. I don't know if you can load it up as well.
Let's have a look.
Let me see. It's not going to show us. Let's go fixtures, see if it shows us. Here we go. Oh, look at all those postponements.
Their
That's
last starting
upsetting.
11 was
It was
against
Atletico.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, let's go league game. When they had Alisson, it's not fair to have It's not fair. Cool. This is going back. Let's go
So it's
for
Bournemouth.
yeah, Bournemouth.
Was
Let's
he
go.
injured? No, Alisson was injured, wasn't he? Been
Let's
out
go.
for a while.
Let's go for the.
Let's go for the West Ham loss.
I was going to say the West Ham. You know me too well. So, okay, so I'll read the Liverpool squad. If you read the United squad, and we'll see who wins. So, the Liverpool squad in goal: Alisson, Trent on the right, Gomez in centre back with Van Dijk, Robertson on the left. It's a 4-3-3, by the way. Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Oxlade-Chamberlain in the middle, with Salah, Firmino down the middle, and Origi on the left. Salah on the right, by the way. And what's the United squad?
The United squad that started was Schmeichel, Neville, Johnson, Stam, Irwin. You had Bloomquist, Butt, Beckham, and Giggs in midfield, and then Cole and York top.
Who would win?
I don't know.
Do you know what? You know, you said Steve just woke up.
Yes.
We're getting Stevens on the line.
Let's see if
we're going to get Stevens on the line.
Now, my answer would be...
I think he's going to say Liverpool. What do you reckon he's going to say?
I think I'd be tempted to say Liverpool.
I think I'll go with him.
Yo.
Stephen Inns, how are you? All right?
I'm good. I'm just not ready with it.
No, that's okay. I mean, we're filming the first episode of the podcast, right? We just got a question for you. So Liverpool's best starting side, let's just make it easy. Best starting side versus Man United's 98-99 Champions League winning squad. Who would win in a match if they went against each other?
United all day.
Oh, the United squad.
100%.
Any reasons why? Can you back up your argument?
Hold on a minute. I'd go them all day.
Okay, yeah.
They had more caliber of world-class players, and I feel that was a time where there was actually more world-class players about. They also had within the league itself.
Okay. All right then, Steve. Well, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. If you don't fall asleep. You and Henry, liabilities. All right. But Henry's offered us to edit the thing. So what are you going to offer us as an apology? Keep it PG.
Apology? I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. That's it. I can't offer anything out at the minute.
Now I feel bad.
I think we'll have a video apology.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's a good one. Jack said we'll have a video apology, please.
Competition for the next episode. How about that?
No. We want a video apology, and at the start of the next episode, we want to see your apology. At least 10 seconds long.
At least 10 seconds long.
At least 10 seconds long.
Oh God.
In a suit. Or a shirt.
Oh God. Okay.
All right then, Steve. Well, we look forward to seeing it. I'll speak to you soon.
See you soon, buddy.
See you. Bye. There we have it. United would win the game, but that was brilliant. So
who would you pick?
Over that, I honestly would stick with Liverpool. But bearing in mind, when 98-99, I was one, maybe 2 years old at the time. So I wouldn't have watched that squad. I haven't watched any replays. I've only watched the Liverpool squad, and they have dominated. But I still would go Liverpool. I really would. I know the caliber of players Man United got it, and I do agree with Steve. But I still go Liverpool.
See,
you're the deciding vote here.
Now, I'm going to...
And don't you dare say we're cool someone, because that's been done.
No. My thing is, I think the United squad is full of world-class stars as we know them now.
But
I think
were
at
they
the
at the
time,
time?
I think
Yes.
until they won that treble,
Oh
they
no!
weren't considered. Now, my
God,
other
that's a
thing is,
spanner.
it is. Now, my other thing is, you've got to look at Sir Alex Ferguson. For me, he's one of the greatest managers to ever. I don't think there is anyone better than him, to be honest. He won the league with United through. So he won it in 93, 4, 6, 7, and 99. So they dominated.
Yeah, even before this Champions League win, they were dominating. Yeah,
but they dominated because of that man. He had squads sometimes. I think it was they played Arsenal, didn't they? Once, and he had about 6 defenders on the pitch.
yeah.
And
Okay.
they absolutely spanked them.
So
for
you're going to
me,
break it down just for the manager, aren't you?
yeah,
God, look
'cause I
at
think,
you with your management hat on. Oh, sorry, FA level 2 coach. Sorry.
I think if we're gonna really look at this
Yeah.
and go, what team would win? For me,
This is the decider. Wait, drum roll.
it's United.
Oh, okay, that's a United win then.
Just because of Sir Alex.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think there's
fair
enough
enough.
talent in that squad by itself, but with the added bonus of Sir Alex Ferguson guiding it and tactically working it out.
Fair enough.
Without a doubt, a United win, and I never thought I'd say that.
I'm gonna trust your opinion on that. By the way, you are level 2 qualified now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's a true story. He's level 2 qualified, and you watch. Everyone listening to this podcast, write down the name. I don't want to say your surname unless you're happy for me to say it, Jack.
No, you can go for it.
Jack Glynn. All right, he's going to be a household manager name. Okay, guarantee it. You watch his first. I'm already going to call it.
For all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons. He's going to bring Woking into the Champions League in 5 seasons. No, Jack is gonna make his debut for management debut for New York Red Bulls. New York Red Bulls.
Okay.
Yep, New York Red Bulls. You're gonna go out to America and do it. But it's a true story. He's actually a qualified coach. I'm qualified as well, but not as good as he is. He will get his UEFA being done and everything. But I mean, Jack, that is the first episode done. 1 hour 20 minutes in. How do you feel?
I don't feel like it's been an hour and 20 minutes.
No, it's gone very bloody quick.
I feel like when there's Steve involved, it's going to take a lot more.
Yes, I think. Do you know what? The dangerous thought I had as well is I thought, right, great, episode 1. Let's get Jack in. Let's get Steve in. Let's get Henry in. If we had all 4 of us, oh god, not only would it end in probably half the friendship breaking, but also it'll go on for like 2.5 hours. And bearing in mind it is now 20 to 11 at night. You know, it's probably not healthy. We should probably do this earlier.
Yeah. I think, do you know what though? I think it's such a great idea because now we can.
We've always wanted to debate this. We've always wanted to. When we went to, because all 4 of us went to uni together. Henry, my brother, did something different and he was in a lower year. But we would spend countless, I don't know if you remember, Jack, in our first year, we would write down teams of like the World 11 back in the day versus the World 11 that are playing now. And we would have these kind of discussions.
Do you remember on FIFA, you used to be able to do it?
Yes, we would make teams. Classic 11.
11.
We would modify them and have a discussion about it. So it's a dream come true. I know loads of people like this. And if you don't agree with anyone we put in there, let us know because there's no wrong answer. Well, there is wrong answers. You could put De Bruyne in for Teddy Sheringham, but we won't get into that.
You could put Phil Neville in over Andy Robertson, but
oh, okay, all right, leave it out. Come on.
I'd love to hear the justification for it.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right. Don't come for me now. All right, Billy Big Balls, come on. All right, but yeah, we'll probably leave it there. We've got 20 seconds until it goes to 1 hour 20. So we're going to long this out. And when it gets to that hour 20, we're going to end it. So Jack, say goodbye.
See you later, fellas.
we will see you in the next one of the Football Fellas. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we get Henry and Steve on this one. We've got 3 seconds left. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.